Hello, class 9 children. Good morning. Welcome back. This is your Yogesh sir teaching you English literature through online class. And to remind you, in our last online class in your English paper 2, we started with our very important textbook, The Merchant of Venice, which is a play written by William Shakespeare. There, I had explained you regarding the playwright William Shakespeare, and I had also given you a small piece of homework for you to work with. That was to get the life story of William Shakespeare. I hope you have completed that work. Today we'll see the background of the play The Merchant of Venice, and if possible we'll also try to see the beginning of the play The Merchant of Venice. So here we go. The play The Merchant of Venice is a drama written in the first working period of William Shakespeare's writing career. As we know that William Shakespeare's writing career was divided into 3 periods. The first period is called the experimental period of William Shakespeare's writing career, because in this period William Shakespeare experimented himself to establish himself in the field of writing. He first took up poetry to start his writing career, and then he moved on to writing plays. That is why I said, why is William Shakespeare called the Bard of Avon? He is nicknamed the Poet of Avon. It's just because his first experience in the field of writing has been the poetry, right? But he did not write much poems. That was only the first period that he wrote poems. Those are the sonnets written by William Shakespeare. Thereafter he wrote 37 plays and gifted to the world. And The Merchant of Venice happens to be the play written in the experimental period of William Shakespeare's writing career. No doubt, okay, that was an experiment he had done, but it is one of the finest plays written by William Shakespeare. Then the next period of William Shakespeare's writing career is known as the best work period of William Shakespeare's writing career, because in this second period of his writing career he gave the world the richest tragedies ever written by anyone in the world, right? That's why it is called the best work period of William Shakespeare's writing career. He gave Macbeth, Othello, Timon of Athens, Hamlet, Julius Caesar. These all are the greatest tragedies ever written by anyone, right? And then the last book period is called the the concluding work period of William Shakespeare's writing career, the last period of William Shakespeare's writing career, right? So these are the 3 periods of William Shakespeare's writing career in the span of 22 to 24 years of his writing career. And the play The Merchant of Venice, which is in your syllabus for 2 years course, 9 and 10, it belongs to the first working period of William Shakespeare's writing career. So anyway, we introduce the play The Merchant of Venice. So the play The Merchant of Venice is divided into 5 acts, and each act is further divided into scenes, right? So there are total 5 acts, and Act 1 has 3 scenes. Act 2 is the longest act, it has 9 scenes. Act 3 has 5 scenes. Act 4 has 2 scenes, and Act 5 has just 1 scene. So altogether there are 20 scenes in the play The Merchant of Venice. And for class 9 syllabus, It is Act 1 with all the 3 scenes, Act 2 with all 9 scenes, and Act 3 just scene 1. Up to here is your syllabus for class 9. So I hope we can meet easily, because there in the other book, the treasure trove, we have almost covered our poetry section. We have also almost covered our story section. Just one chapters are left out there. So when we are tired enough knowing the Merchant of Venice, then we'll switch on to these poem and story, right? To take a break, right? Or to have a change to listen to what is being taught. So anyways, so we got introduced to the acts of the play, The Merchant of Venice. So now we talk about the themes of the play The Merchant of Venice, because whenever a writer or a playwright writes, or a poet writes any of his creations, there are certain reasons, there are certain causes that he or she writes for. So likewise, here William Shakespeare also has a reason to write the play The Merchant of Venice. The reason is said here as the theme or themes of the play The Merchant of Venice. So there are 5 important themes in the play The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare, right? The first is love. In the first theme, we have talked about love, right? What love is. There are 3 love stories in the play. The first love story is of Porshia and Bassanio. The second love story is between Jessica and Lorenzo. The third love story is between Naresha and Graciano. So these are the 3 love stories we see in the play The Merchant of Venice. That's why love is one of the most important themes in the play The Merchant of Venice. Then the next theme we have is friendship and loyalty. Here we have talked about friendship, what a friendship is, what is friendship, and how you should be loyal to your friend once you are a friend to someone, right? That is the second theme as far as the play The Merchant of Venice is concerned. And the third theme is love of wealth, because here money matters for everyone, and so is the treasure, so is the wealth, so is the asset to everybody. So this is the third theme in the play, love of wealth, right? The fourth is justice and mercy, how a justice must be given, right? A person who gives the justice must be blind to know to whom he is giving the justice, right? And mercy is also another theme in the play, right? That you need to be compassionate, you should be kind to deal with any circumstance. That is the next theme we have in the play. And the last theme is appearance and reality, right? What you look like, right? Sometimes many judge it wrong, right? The outer cover that the people see, right, and then decide on it, right, turns out to be false, right? So how the appearance should be and what its reality should be is also the theme in the play The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. So I hope these 5 themes are understood, right? You have a textbook in the start of the play The Merchant of Venice. These themes are taught. You can refer it once for your knowledge, right? So these are the 5 important themes we have in the play The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare, right? Now after we talk about the themes in the play, now we move on to the setting in the play The Merchant of Venice, right? So setting means in which place or places the play have been arranged, right? So there are 2 places being talked in the play, right? One is Venice and the other is Belmont. In these 2 places the scenes do take place, right? The first one, as I said, is Venice, right? So Venice is an existing city in Italy, and it is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And currently, it has been said that uh, because of uh, mm, uh, the ozone layers uh, and the global warming, the melting snow is submerging the city, Venice, and that's why the Venetian government has already issued warning to the people living in Venice that now slowly they should shift to some other place, because the city is being submerged underwater now, and very soon in the near future, I think the city will be wholly submerged inside water, right? uh, right now itself, okay, the place is with water in place of the moving vehicles on the road, cars and buses and lorries. They have boats to get transferred from one place to another, right? So such is a place, Venice, right? The other place, Belmont, is a fictitious town of William Shakespeare. Now, what is fictitious town? Fictitious town means it is an imagined, it is a thought town or city of the playwright William Shakespeare, right? So, in the world map, Belmont doesn't exist, right? It is not there, but it is only a thought place of William Shakespeare. However, Venice is in reality. It is in the world map. It is in Italy, as I said, right? So these are the two places where the play, The Merchant of Venice, is set, right? Now, after knowing the setting of the play, The Merchant of Venice, now we get to know what kind of play is The Merchant of Venice, right? The Merchant of Venice is a romantic comedy. As we know that William Shakespeare has written various kinds of his writings, uh, romantic, right? He has written tragedy, he has written historical plays, right? He has written romantic comedies, right? He has only written comedies, right? So these are all various types of plays he has gifted to the world, right? And the very play, The Merchant of Venice, is a romantic comedy, right? Now, what is romantic comedy, right? Romantic, in which there is romance. Comedy, there is humorous, there is fun, there is joy, right? So when we mix, right, it becomes romantic comedy, right? And what normally happens in a romantic comedy is there is the involvement of a beautiful heroine, right? So we see that female, right, gender uh, is given much importance by, okay, the playwright, right? So here we'll see Portia as a heroine, right? And she stands very important in the play, right? And thus, in a romantic comedy, we have female character being given special concern, right, by the playwright, right? So such a uh, play is called romantic comedy, right? And we have difficulties, right, in the play, right, as we proceed in the lines of the play, right? However, there is a happy ending. The ending is very happy, right? That's why uh, it is called romantic comedy. So I hope you understood what is romantic comedy, right? And then we have the characters, as we know. So without characters, there is no play, there is no drama, right? So uh, characters are given due respect by William Shakespeare, and as we know, right, William Shakespeare's characterization stands the supreme, right, over all the playwrights in the world. That means uh, no other playwright or no other writer has ever given the characters what William Shakespeare has given to the world. They are the best, right? His characters are awesome, right? They are unique, they are masterpieces of William Shakespeare. That's why whenever uh, you step into, or when you step into class 11 and 12, you have another play written by William Shakespeare. There you will again get, okay, another play to know written by William Shakespeare. And as the standard rises to understanding more of English literature, so you will get a special question from the council in the boards, right, where one particular question will be asked on character, right? So there is a character question, specially um, designed by the council to ask the students um, who appear for the boards, right? So even the council gives a due respect to the characters created by William Shakespeare, right? Because his characters are special, his characters are unique, right? They are one and only one characters, right? Given by the playwright William Shakespeare, right? So we'll now introduce the characters in the play, because without knowing the introduction of the characters, you will not be able to understand the play, The Merchant of Venice, right? So please hear it and get to the right pronunciation, because if you pronounce it wrong, you'll write the spelling of the character wrong, right? And the council is very, very strict regarding the correct spelling of the characters, right? If you write a wrong spelling of the characters, right, as given in the textbook, then the person becomes, or the character becomes, a new character in the play, right? And for which there is a negative marking, right? So you must be very, very careful in writing the names of the characters as discussed in the play, right? There should not be any change in the spelling, right? Write same what is given in the textbook, okay? So here we get introduced to the characters in the play. There's a list of characters in your textbook. So if you are ready with the textbook, you can see and hear the pronunciation as I pronounce, and keep these names in your mind so as to um, get them okay in the play as we proceed, because without knowing the characters, I said that it's very difficult for you to understand the play, right? The first is the Duke of Venice, right? Now, who is called a Duke, right? A Duke is a male. First of all, Duke is a male, right? Duchess is the female of Duke, right? So Duke is the highest rank below, right, an emperor or a king or a prince. That means after the emperor or the king or the prince of a state or a nation, right, the next right now highest rank in the administration is the duke. He's a nobility, right? He's a nobleman, right? So we get introduced to the nobleman of Venice, who is called a Duke of Venice, right? Duke is not the name, children, right? It is a rank, right? The Duke of Venice. We have a country, Venice, right? And we have the highest ranking individual, who is called the Duke here, right? So he has the decision-making power. He decides, right, and announces his verdict, his statement, right, which all the people will have to obey, right, follow, right? So he's the most important person living in a country, right, after the emperor or a prince or a king, right? So see, he's called the Duke of Venice in the play. The next character is the Prince of Morocco, right? Now Morocco is a North African country. So where is Morocco? Morocco is in the north of Africa, right? So it is one of the black countries, right, in Africa. So from there, a prince is taken in the character in the play, The Merchant of Venice. The next character is the Prince of Aragon, right? So Aragon is also a name of a country, right? It is in the northeast of Spain, right? Morocco is in North Africa, right? Aragon is in northeast of Spain, right? And from these two countries, we have the princes coming to Belmont, who are the suitors to Portia, right? They like Portia, they want to get married with Portia. So they are the suitors, right? So we'll talk about them later. We again come to their portion in detail, We are just now introducing these characters, right? And the next character is Antonio, right? Now Antonio is the protagonist of the play, right? Protagonist means main character, the real character in the play The Merchant of Venice is Antonio. And who is he? He is a merchant of Venice, right? So in his name, the play is titled The Merchant of Venice. So who do you think is the Merchant of Venice? Merchant means businessman. He is a trader, right? So the trader of Venice, the merchant of Venice, the businessman of Venice, he is Antonio, right? So what is his name? His name is Antonio, right? He is the main character in the play, okay? The protagonist of the play, right? In his name, the play, The Merchant of Venice, is written by William Shakespeare, okay? So he is the main character, Antonio. Then the next character is Bassanio, right? Now who is Bassanio? So Bassanio is Antonio's best friend, right? Bassanio is the best friend of Antonio, okay? He is also a man from Venice, okay? So both of these, right, gentlemen are the best friends to one another, okay? They are the bosom friends, Antonio and Bassanio, right? Then the next character is Graciano, right? Graciano is the another friend of Bassanio and Antonio, right? Graciano is the another friend of Antonio and Bassanio, okay, right? And he is a man who is in love with Naresha, okay? Graciano is in love with Naresha. Now who is Naresha? We'll talk about her sometime later. Now you see, then the next character is Lorenzo, right? Now Lorenzo is another friend of Antonio, Bassanio and Graciano. They're all the friends, okay? They are all friends to one another, okay? But Antonio and Bassanio are the best friends to one another. They are the bosom friends. They are the closest friends, right? So the next character who we got introduced is Lorenzo. And who is he? He is another friend of Antonio, Bassanio and Graciano. And he is the person who is in love with Jessica, right? So Lorenzo is a person who is in love with Jessica. Now who is Jessica? We'll again pause for a while. We'll know her after some time, okay? So all these four that we got introduced now so far, right? They are all Christians to one another, right? Now they are all Christians in their religion, okay? Antonio, Bassanio, Graciano, Lorenzo. And the next person is Leonardo, right? Now Leonardo is a servant to Bassanio. Who is Leonardo? He is a servant to Bassanio. And to say he is also one of the friends, right? Rather than calling him a servant, he is also one of the friends of all these friends. They are all friends to one another. So we saw a group of friends. They are Antonio, Bassanio, Graciano, Lorenzo and Leonardo. They all are friends, right, to one another. However, we saw Antonio and Bassanio are the deepest friends, right, to one another. Okay, they are the closest friends to one another. They are the bosom friends to one another. Okay, and all these characters are Christian characters. Okay, then next you see Salarino and Salarino. Okay, now I want you to pay serious attention in these names, Salarino and Salarino. Okay, so why I'm telling it is because Salarino is sometimes also called Salario. Okay, right? You may check your textbook. Some textbook is given Salarino and some textbook is given Salario, right? However, right, no worry, because both the names are of single man, right? He is either Salarino or Salario. You can call anyone, right? Okay, so what is given in a textbook? Write the same. Salarino or Salanio. Okay, Salarino or Salario. And the next person is Salanio. There is another person, Salanio, where there is N, right? Salanio. These two are the friends to one another. Okay, Salarino or Salario and Salanio, right? These two are the friends to one another. And whenever they do occur, right, in the play, or whenever they do happen to come in the play, they come together, right? And the special thing about these two characters is whenever they do come in the play, they bring us some news, latest informations, right? They provide us. So their role in the play is also very, very important, right? Salarino and Salarino, right? These two are important characters as far as the opening part of the play is concerned. Okay, then we come to the next character, Shylock, right? Now Shylock is the villain of the play, right? In a movie, you know it, right? If there is a hero or if there are heroes, if there is a heroine or if there are heroines, we also have, right, a villain character, right? So in the play we have Shylock as a villain character. Okay, he is a villain in the play, Shylock, and a very, very important character as far as the play The Merchant of Venice is concerned. The next character is Jessica. Now Jessica is Shylock's only daughter, right? She is the only child of Shylock, the villain Shylock. Okay, so Jessica is a beautiful young lady. She is fair in complexion, right? So beautiful, so attractive to look at, right? That is Jessica. And Jessica is in love with Lorenzo, right? Jessica is a Jewish because Shylock is a Jew by religion, right? He is not a Christian. Jews are quite close to, uh, Islamic religion. Okay, they are very close to Islamic religion, right? Almost they are same to one another, we can say, right? And they oppose Christians, right? They are not like Christians, they are unlike Christians. Okay, so Shylock is a Jew by religion. Okay, he is a businessman in Venice. He is a moneylender in Venice, right? A moneylender lends money in interest. Okay, his source of income that he earns in lending money is interest, right? He gives money and takes interest, right, along with his principal, and that's what his business is. Okay, so he has his only daughter whose name is Jessica. She is fair, right, and beautiful. Then see, the next character is Tubal. Right, Tubal is one of the friends of Shylock. Right, who is Tubal? Tubal is one of the friends of Shylock. Tubal is also a businessman in Venice. Right, he is also a moneylender like Shylock is. Okay, Shylock, Tubal, they all have come from different countries. Right, they have come to Venice with the perspective of, right, running their business and earn their profits. Right, then see, the next character is Lancelot Gobo. Right, now in a film, right, only, okay, you see and listen, the serious scenes are going on, the fighting scenes are going on, right? uh, you need some people to make you laugh, right? So a comedian plays an important role, right, to bring smile on your face, laugh on your face, right? So a comedian's a comedian's character is also needed in a movie. Likewise, right, we have Lancelot Gobo as a comedian in the play The Merchant of Venice. Right, we call it simple, a clown, a joker, right, who jokes with you, who cracks jokes with you and make you laugh, right? Such is the character Lancelot Gobo, right? The next character is Old Gobo. Now, Old Gobo is the father of Lancelot Gobo, right? Or Lancelot Gobo is the son of Old Gobo, right? However, Old Gobo's role is very limited. He is only there for, right now, few moments in the play, right? Now, these all characters so far we got introduced to in the play, The Merchant of Venice. Now we are stepping into another important character, right? Who is Portia. Now, Portia is the heroine of the play The Merchant of Venice. Okay, she is the heiress of Belmont. Okay, so heiress is almost the princess, right? She is a very, very rich lady, very, very rich lady, right? And today she is all alone in the mansion where she lives in Belmont, right? A large house, a bungalow she lives in Belmont. She has enough of money, right? So she is the heiress of Belmont. What is her name? Her name is Porshia. Okay, she is the heroine of the play The Merchant of Venice, and she is one of the main characters, right, in the play The Merchant of Venice. The next character is Naresha. Naresha is Portia's servant come friend. She is a servant as well as a friend, because Portia always is seen, right, uh, staying with Naresha. So she is not just the personal attendant of Portia, right? She is also friend to Portia. Okay, so Naresha is another close character, right, to Portia. Now next, the two are given together. One is Balthazar, the other is Stefano. Right, Balthazar and Stefano are the servants of Portia. They are the servants to Portia. Right, they work in the house of Portia. Portia has a bungalow to live in. She has a very large house to live in. She has a mansion, as I said, there. And there are so many servants in the house of Portia, right, out of which two are named. Right, they are Balthazar and Leonardo. Perhaps they are trustworthy, and they are senior servants working in the house since years, right? That's why these two are focused. These two are named here, right? So we got introduced to all the individual characters we have in the play The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare, right? So we also have group characters, right? They are in groups, right? So their names are not given. They come in groups. They are merchants, businessmen living in Venice, right? There are officers in the court of Venice, right? There are lawyers, right, in the court of Venice. Okay, there is a jailer, right? The police officer who is in charge of the jail. He is a jailer, right? His name is not given in the play. He is only for a momentary cause in the play. That's why perhaps William Shakespeare did not name him. So he's just introduced by his rank. He's a jailer, right? The next characters are musicians. We have a band of musicians, right? Okay. The next characters are servants to Portia, and there are also the attendants to Portia, right? Who are unnamed characters in the play because they all come in group, right? These are all the group characters. So with this, we have introduced all the characters we have in the play The Merchant of Venice. So I'll just read it for your convenience. Once again the names, so as to recall the pronunciation of the names, because what you pronounce, so you write. And I told you the importance of spelling of the characters in the play, right? So if you write incorrect spelling of the characters, right, you will be given negative markings, or sometimes it leads to no markings, right? So the council is very, very strict regarding the spelling of the characters. Take care. Okay, so let me again say or reread. The Duke of Venice, right? Duke is, right, the highest rank after the emperor, king, or prince. Okay, so he is very, very important, right, as a person living in a country. Okay, the next characters are the Prince of Morocco, the Prince of Aragon, right? They are the princes coming from different countries in the world, right, as suitors to Portia, right? They wanted to get married with Portia, one of the richest ladies in the world, right? So Morocco is in North Africa, whereas Aragon is in the northeast part of Spain, as I said. Okay, the next character is the most important character, the main character in the play, Antonio. He is a merchant. He is a businessman living in Venice. By birth, he is from Venice, right? The next character is his bosom friend, Bassanio, right? The next characters are Graciano, Lorenzo, and Leonardo. These are all the friends to one another. They all are Christians, right? A confusing characters we got introduced to, right? Salarino or Salario. Okay, both of these names belong to one man. And the next is Salanio, right? Sometimes Salanio is also called Solanio in some of the books, but don't get confused, right? It's all same, right? Right? Okay, so Salario, right? Salanio, better. Okay, then the next character is Shylock, the villain character, right? He is also a merchant living in Venice, and he's a moneylender like Antonio is, who lends money, right, in interest. Then Jessica is Shylock's only daughter, only child, right? She's fair and beautiful. The next is Tubal, is the friend of Shylock, right? Lancelot Gobo is a comedian, he's a clown, he's a joker. His father, old Gobo, is in the play. Then we have the lady characters, right? Porshia, the heroine of the play, The Merchant of Venice. Her servant come friend, naresha, right, is in the play. And we have the two uh, uh, servant characters to Portia. They are Balthazar and Stefano. And then we have the group characters, merchants, then the officers in the court of Venice, or in the Venetian court also you can say. Then you have musicians, a band of musicians, then you have servants, attendants, and you also have a jailer, right, in the play The Merchant of Venice. So these all characters do make a play The Merchant of Venice. Okay, and what your homework is, you'll be writing these characters with their introduction in the drama copy, right, in your drama exercise note. So please you copy this in your exercise note, these all characters, right, because if you know these characters, then only you'll be able to understand the play The Merchant of Venice, right, and read again and again, right, and know these characters thoroughly, right, so that you can feel easy when we come to the lines. Okay, because it's a drama. Without the dialogues of the characters in the play, you'll not be able to understand, okay, the play, the content of the play. That's why introducing the characters and knowing these characters by heart is very important, right? So for that, go through this character list again and again, right? Write, okay, this list in your exercise note also, right? So this is what you are going to do in your home task, right? So I think we got introduced to the play, right, The Merchant of Venice. We also discussed about the themes of the play today, right? There are 5 important themes in the play, right? And we also talked about the setting, right? There are 2 places being discussed in the play. One is Venice, the other is Belmont. Sometimes we are in Venice, sometimes we are in Belmont, right? Venice is a place, right, in reality, right, it is in Italy, it is an existing country, right, whereas Belmont is a fictitious, right, now town or city of William Shakespeare, right, it is an imagined thought place, right, by William Shakespeare. It doesn't exist in the world map, right? So these 2 settings are there in the play, right? And then we talked the characters in the play The Merchant of Venice, right? And you write these characters in the play, right, in your exercise note, and get them by heart, so that without any doubt, without any confusion, you must be able to know these characters in the play, right? So I think this is enough for today. We got introduced to the play The Merchant of Venice, and in our next sitting we'll carry on with the lines in the play The Merchant of Venice. Thank you very much.